guys, so in this video I'll be showing you how to CAD a wing within Pro Engineer, or Creo as it's now called, and by the end of the video you should be able to construct a CADable wing that looks something like this. If you are using Creo 2.0, it should be you should use the same tools, just they'd be located in different places because the layout's a little bit different for the program. So anyways, this was just to give you guys, this thing right here was just to give you guys a preview. I'll just go ahead and close it. And whenever you close something out, be sure to erase not displayed, because it'll erase all files. It's a good thing to do, especially if you're within working within a company and have lots of parts open up and close daily, especially if you have to open up several different revs of the same parts. But besides that, onto the wing. So the first step you want to do is you want to create your airfoil. So what you want to do is first you want to go to Google and find the information for the airfoil that you chose. To do this, you can just enter in airfoil. Wait, there we go. So just this first website should be good. Just click that. I'm going to use. You'll want to search through this list to find the kind that you are going to your team decides to use, or you decide to use. Let's see. I'll go ahead and use. Let's see. Yeah, that. What was that? Okay. So with this file, you're going to have to clean up a couple of things. First off, you'll want to delete these first two lines, and you'll put X, tab, Y, tab, C. And an important note, because Pro you will freak out and will not let you create an airfoil or create the create the points to create the airfoil, is that these right here are spaces. Yeah, what you want to do is that you want to delete these spaces for all your points, and it's pretty tedious. And you'll want to have a tab between here. Leaving that space in the front should be fine. If it freaks out on me later, then we know what to fix. Let's see. And you'll want to tab over and add a 0 for all of these data points. And you'll want to do the same for these. For the record, this represents the upper half of the curve of your airfoil, and this represents the lower half. Same thing. it does take a while to make sure all this stuff sets up, but all these steps are very important, because like I said, Pro E will freak out if you don't do these steps. Okay, so another important step to remember is that when you create the curves within a sketch in Pro E, you'll want to create them one at a time. So you'll want to save two separate files, one for the lower half. Wait, no, sorry, that's the upper half. One for the upper half, and then one for the lower half. So what I'll do right now is just cut out this lower half, do File, Save As, and when you save the file, you'll want to save it as a .pts file. So upper .pts and save. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste in the lower half. Do File, Save As, rename it to lower, and save. Yes. So what you want to do now is you're going to create the sketch that represents the airfoil layout, because this will make bringing in the same airfoil into multiple ribs, if you're doing, say, a tapered wing, easier. So I'm just going to name this, since the airfoil chose was Epler, I said underscore rib. Okay. First step, which is very important, is to create a... What just happened? I created a part. Okay, so just besides that, I just screwed up. Close the window. Okay, so now, sorry, messed up. So what you want to do is create a sketch. So select a sketch, and then do Epler underscore airfoil. There you go. Okay. So now what you want to do is the first step, which is very important, is to create a coordinate system for your sketch. So what you want to do is select it, which was over there, and there, middle click to exit out of it, and so now you have a coordinate system to base it off of. And what we're going to use this coordinate system for is that we're going to create a 1-inch line. So select the line tool, go over here, make sure it locks onto that center of that axis, and drag it out. It will be you make it any length, because we're going to change that. So now click on it, change it to 1 inch. The default for Creo should be 1 inch, like inches, feet, English units. Middle clicked. There we go. So now we've done that. The reason why we're setting this line here for 1 inch is that this is going to be our guidelines, I guess you could say, for our airfoil. And you'll see why we use 1 in a second. So what we want to do now is to use the spline tool, and you can just create any kind of abstract shape. Doesn't need to be a certain number of points or anything like that, because we're going to modify it. And to modify it, what you want to do is to hold the right click button, just like I did. Make sure you have this spline curve selected. Go to Modify. You want to go to File, then it'll ask you to select the coordinate system. So select the coordinate system that you just created. And you want to go to this button right here, and then you want to select, since we have the upper curve, select the upper points. And very important note, keep in mind, let me find that upper file we'll set real quick. Upper. So when you're looking at look at your file and keep in mind where your origin is, where it starts off, and where it ends. So we're good. So I drew that first curve select correctly. I have come across files and they do freak out on you if it starts off, say, from 1 here and then ends at 0 here. You'll have to draw your line backwards if that's the case for your airfoil. And that's just to keep it from freaking out on you. So go ahead and select open. It should be good for me. This box right here will pop up. Just go ahead and select yes. What that's telling you is that when I originally sketched it out, I sketched only 3 points. Of course, as you can see now, it's going to add more points in. That's okay. So just go ahead and select OK. Hit the green check mark because that should be good. So now we have the top curve for our airfoil. So what we're going to do now is do the same steps for the bottom, the lower half of your curve. And same thing as the top one, keep in mind where your airfoil's where the origin is and where it ends. And very important step, because it will freak out within the actual creating the actual extrude for the part. This first, the 1 inch line that we originally put in, you'll want to delete that. Or you could actually set it to constraints, which to do that, and I'll just sketch a random curve right here to show you how. Make sure you have it selected, go here, and then go to construction. I probably said constraint earlier. Construction's what I meant. Sorry. So, yeah, there you go. So that's how you create airfoil, and I'll show you what you guys use this for in the next step. So now what we want to do is we want to create a rib. So now that we have this, make sure you save it too. So I'm going to hit Control S, and okay. So now we want to create a new part. So part, and you can name it whatever you want. Blur underscore bib like before. Okay, so let's see here. Erase not displayed. And there you go. Perfect example of why you need to erase not displayed. Because even though I technically did not save that part, it still created it like reserved that part's name within the program, if that makes any sense. Because you can't have two objects named the same thing. Okay. So there we go. We created a new part, right? Yeah, just think it. So change it to the front view. Where's my? I turned them off. Okay, so sorry, I had turned the datums off at one point or another. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure you have your datums turned on for this step. And there's my axis too. My coordinate system. So what you want to do now is what I had done before was align it to the front view. This is just a preference of mine. It'll make sketching easier. So what you want to do now is you want to turn on the Extrude Tool to create the rib. So open it up, then you go to Placement, Define, select the front, or whichever plane you prefer to start sketching on, and then hit Sketch. So now what we want to do is we want to bring in that airfoil sketch that we just created into this program, this part. To do that, you want to go to Sketch, Data from File, File System, and it'll pull up a whatever your workspace is. So mine's automatically pulling this up because I had set it as my workspace directory. To do that, you want to go to File, Set Working Directory, and then go to whatever file your location is. So I'm just going to go ahead and relocate it to where I want it, just to show you guys how to do that. And you're going to hit OK. So this is pretty much saying that wherever location you want to save to, folder, say you have a specific folder, it'll save to that folder. Or automatically go to it when it comes to saving, automatically goes to it when it comes to opening stuff up, which is a very useful thing, kind of like a shortcut. So what you want to do now, just go back to the data from file system. There's that sketch that I had created earlier. Go ahead and click open. What is going on? There you go. Just click anywhere. I prefer to click away from the center here because it will not automatically realign it. So what you want to do now is this box will not go away because that box is important. Do not close out of that box yet. Just take that center bit and make sure that that lines up between these two axes here, or two datums there on the center. So that's good. So now what you want to do is modify your scale here. Keep in mind that, remember that 1-inch thing that we had used as the basis for the line? That comes into play in this step, because with that 1-inch scale, whatever scale you enter in here would be what that translates to. And so in this value that you enter in for the scale should represent your chord length. So say you have a 6-inch chord length, enter in a scale of 6 here will become, well, that's really tiny, should be 6 inches across there, which is, yeah, I'll measure it to double check that. So that's done. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And a very important step to make sure that you have everything good and that the extrude won't freak out on you, because Elements is really good about telling you that there's something wrong with your sketch before exiting out of the sketch. Creo, not so much. So what you want to do here is they have several useful tools right up here that will help aid you. So what you want to do is select these two. I use those two most of the time, and then you can select that one too. But it doesn't stay highlighted. So what this does, this one will tell you if you have any open ends within your sketch, which they will highlight red if you have, or may not be red. I'm used to it being red at work, but besides that, it'll highlight a different color than the normal sketch if there's any free floating ends out there, which you need to delete because you need to have a closed loop, which is where this one comes in. It'll highlight a shaded area if it's a closed loop. Pretty simple. Tells you if everything's all good. So go ahead and click OK. And we'll want to change the length that we have here. I'm just going to make it 1/8, which is 1/8, which is a common thickness of a piece of like a sheet of, like, say, balsa wood or some such. So go ahead and click OK. Hit enter and click OK. So there you go. You have your rib, and that's all. Okay. So now what you want to do is create a assembly for the wing. So I'm just going to call this simpler_wing. Again, the name is up to your preference, and the dimensions, airfoil, all your preference. I'm just using any old one just to show y'all how to do that. So what I want to do, let's go from the right now. So now what I want to do is that I want to, first step is bring in that airfoil that I just created. Wait, where was it? Of course. Hold on. Okay. Yes. Now I know what went wrong. Okay. I skipped a step. File. Where is this? Window activate. There you go. Okay. I want to Control S. Save it. Didn't save it. Now go back to that. Window activate. So now we want to bring that in. There you go. Okay. And cool. How does that look? There you go. What you want to do is go to, you want to set its constraints. Since this is the first part we're putting in, just select the default and then go OK. So this will be the easiest part that you do. Assemblies are some of the trickiest, I don't know what you'd call it, files that you could work with in Pro-E. There are several things that could get wrong, and when you get to bigger assemblies with multiple parts, changing one thing could create a whole Doppler effect. I think is Doppler effect? No, butterfly effect. Wow, messing up all my sayings. A whole butterfly effect. So, changing one thing early on could completely mess up the rest of your assembly, and then Creo Pro-E will just freak out and blow up on you. So, anyways, besides that point, what we want to do is go ahead and, for now, I'm just going to create a simple straight wing. So, as I said, we're just going to create a simple straight wing. So I'm just going to use the same rib for, same part for all of the ribs that we are going to use. So, doing the math, I'm going to make about a 3-foot wing. I'm going to have them spaced out 3.861 inches, and have about 10 ribs. So go ahead and open this one. My first step is that I want to aligning these things will be a little bit tricky, so hang with me as I try to find the right way to align all this stuff. There you go. New constraints. A new one. And you'll want to select, since this will be 3 inches, 3 feet from edge to edge of the wing, I'll want to select, there you go, those two surfaces. And what's this thing doing? So it's a little mating those two surfaces. What I want it to do is flip. Nope, it won't flip. Okay, so offset. Let me see what happens when I do -36. And let's see, perfect. So that one edge was awesome. Exactly what I wanted to do. So that's all good. Just gonna go ahead and hit OK, and there we go. You just assembled your first 2 parts. So now I'm going to assemble the rest of them. But yeah, I'll show you guys a shortcut. Actually, I'm going to assemble one more part, and then I'll show you the shortcut I was thinking of. So, mate it to that surface. Okay, align from top to top. I made, oh, it's automatically selecting it. Awesome. What to do? No, coincident for now. Oh, it's not a flip. It's a negative. And that's... It's actually not the surfaces that I wanted. Go ahead and sit there. That one instead. This one. Do that one instead. Oh, what's it doing now? Do negative 3.861. And make sure it's the surfaces that I want. All the kind of nitpicky things that come with making assemblies. And okay. So just to sweep this along, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pattern. So we have, I wanted to do 10 ribs. Yes, 10 ribs. Already have 3, which leaves a pattern of 6 pattern. Alright. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make it along a certain direction. I like the direction. There's certain ways you can do patterns. I believe in one of the other videos I have posted last semester online. Deals talks about patterns a little bit. So do that. So this number right here represents the number that you want to repeat, and it takes into account that first part you put in. So let's see, let's do so 8, and I want to go in the other direction. Space 3.861. That looks weird. Why does it look so weird? We get to use a tool now. Oh, what? That's too wide. Where did I go wrong? Hold on, okay. Do some number crunching right here. 0.125 times 10. 36 minus 1.25. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.861. Okay. So why is this thing being all weird? Okay, sorry, deal with me here. Feel free to skip forward to when I am not troubleshooting this. 8 points, sad. That's the problem. It decides to change it after a certain what? Okay, so forget the pattern. Obviously that's screwing up at one point or another. I'm just going to go ahead and manually enter each part. Fantastic. So, just going to go ahead and do this real quick. This same... Boop. Same surfaces. Yeah. 3.861. do that again till you reach that endpoint. Stop acting all buggy. Okay, so this should be the last one. Right? Yes. I believe so. The heck? Let's do it to me. There's a one more. See what happens when there's one more. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So that should be good. So you want to find the spacing that should go between those through your own calculation. Um, modeling forums for aircraft, for model aircraft, should give some pretty good recommendations too. That's where I got about the 3 inches or so. It's from one of those websites. So that step is done. So you have all the ribs laid out for your model. So now what we want to do is create the Sparse. Yeah. The layout of your Spars will depend on how exactly you want to that's weird. There you go. Lay them out. So it's completely up to you. There's whichever way you think would strengthen your wing up the best. I am just gonna do any old abstract thing just to go ahead and speed it up to show you guys the process of creating those parts, that part within this assembly. What I'm gonna do is not create a separate part and then bring it into an assembly like before, but create a part within an assembly. To do that, you click the button right here, which is just below that assemble button before. It'll ask you to create a file for it. So I'm just going to create a part, type part, Subtype is still solid. Let's just name this Sparse. Okay. This will ask you to what things to copy it from. Don't change any of this stuff. It should be good. Just go ahead and click OK. And so now we can create the. Oh, now it's asking you to align stuff. So what I'm gonna do is align the what am I thinking out? I'm blanking out right here. Oh, datum points. Not datum points, coordinate systems. So I'm going to select this default system, which is for this coordinate system for the part that I'm creating, and then select the assembly coordinate system. And hit OK. Wait. Okay, so now it's freaking out. I did finish. Translation access. Stop lagging. Why is it lagging? X out. Yes. Sure. There you go. Okay, so you wanted to change that to general. And if you do 0 offset, is it offset? Yeah. Okay, it's all good now. Cool. Sorry, I've never had it do that to me before. And normally when I select that option, it just would automatically do what I want, which is that general thing. Never that translational mumbo jumbo. So now that that's all set up, what I want to do is that I created the part. If I try to use the Extrude Tool now, it'll freak out on me. So what I'm going to do is I want to activate this one part. So there you go. If you are ever within an assembly and all these things are just appearing without this little plus sign right here, what you need to do is go into this right here. Is there actually a name for this? Pop up with the name. Yeah, there you go. Settings. And you go to tree filters and make sure you have this, that all of these are selected, and that you don't really need all of these, but at least make sure that features is selected, and then do apply and OK. I'm just going to hit close for now. So what I want to, so now we can, since this part is activated, you are modeling within the part more so than the assembly. So go ahead and hit the Extrude tool like I just did. Might appear in a different location on your guys' computers. This is just the layout that mine downloaded with. So go ahead and hit define, hit select the plane. Very important to choose the plane, not of the assembly, but of the plane in the actual parts. This is just to make sure that your files are all nice and kept clean, and it will create, I believe it's called a circular reference, circular path, and it shouldn't really be that big of an issue with just files that only you are using. When it comes to an actual work environment, it can become very tedious, because let's say I work at Lockheed, so let's say I go to open up a missile, and this missile has 700 parts in it. Because of circular references and other issues, yeah, you open up that 700 part missile, it'll ask to check out like 50 of them or so, because of just modeling issues like that. So it's good to try to keep them clean, not have them relying on other parts and stuff like that too. So, getting off track. So now we're in the Extrude tool. What's going on? Okay, so yeah. So I already am within the sketch, set it all up. So what I want to do now is create the spars. I'm going to make my spars about 1/8 thick. What I want to do now is to set up references. Just go to Sketch, References. If you're within Creo, if you go to I think it's this Sketch tab, there should be a little button over here that says References. If you look at some of my previous videos from last semester, I actually used Creo 2.0 there, and you can see the layout in those videos. So anyways, what I want to do is I want to add this surface, this top edge, this bottom edge as surfaces, because I'm going to use them as starting points and end points for where I lay it out. I recommend looking up different spar not videos. Do research on different spar layouts, how you can lay them all out before just doing what I'm about to do, which is really just for the sake of showing you guys how to use all these tools. Just lay them out in any old random order. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. When I create these surfaces that I'm making now are going to be used to... I probably should have done that edge. So, okay, so it'll be this. Boom. Okay, there. So what was I gonna say? I really don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, when you create, so these... Never mind, I'm not creating the cutouts, I'm creating the actual spars. So, never mind that, just... I'm going to delete these parts right here. Sorry, thinking of another part. So, so there's part of one thing. I'm going to make this bottom edge 0.125. Like I said, I'm making, say I'm going to just make 1/8 spars that are like 1/8 by 1/8. So that's what those dimensions represent. And I'm just going to place them at random spots. I'm going to use constraints now. Where's my constraints? I don't know where my constraints are. Constraint. I'm going to use equal. Oop. There you go. Okay. So create one about here. Okay. So that one's not walking to an edge. And very important, I'll get to it in a bit, but I might as well just point it out now while I'm in the middle of sketching. But do not see how those top edges are highlighting red. Remember when I mentioned the highlighting, make sure that this tool's highlighted before. That's exactly like the perfect situation of where it'll come into play. It's saying that those are not complete closed sketches, and I'll show you guys how to finish them off and close them off in a second, as soon as I create the rest of these spars. What I am doing with this constraint is just reducing the number of dimensions that I have on my... Say if you create a drawing for this, it's good practice to use instead of using a certain tool within drawing to what am I doing? there's a dimension tool, and then there's also a tool to use actually don't know which dimension would be higher there. It doesn't matter. To manually put in dimensions or pull dimensions from like the part, the assembly from there, and it's better practice to pull your dimensions from your part or assembly rather than manually putting them in there, and that's what cleaning up dimensions like this does, because say all these bars are the same length or so if I create a drawing for it, I'll just, point to one shape and say, I don't know, say I have 8 spars in my thing, say 8 times, whatever. Specifics when it comes to being in an actual industry. So, stick my head. Okay. I'm gonna only make about 2 more. And by the way, to leave all of these line sketches and stuff like that, I am hitting the middle button, the roller button. Yeah. While I'm in here, just to save, actually no, because that part might freak out too, and you can hide it. Not every team uses it, even though it's good practice. I'll build that after I finish these parts, so never mind me mentioning it. What I want to do now is use the project tool, which is that the name? Show me the name. Oh well, it's this button. And what I want to do is use it there, holding down the control button, hit it there, okay, close. What that just did was use that surface as a reference, and that edge as a reference, and just project a line right over that. What we want to do now is delete the, notice that it's still highlighting red and is not being all shaded. It's still saying that's incomplete because you don't have a closed loop. You have one big closed loop with several different other smaller ones inside, which are just not good. Pro-E does not like stuff like that. So now what we want to do is use this tool down here, the delete segment tool, and delete just around the edges, and I'll show you why. See how it's like highlighting all these different things. If you try to delete every single one of them, it'll become a big pain. So I'm just gonna just delete the edges. This is actually a really neat tool. I've been working at Lockheed for about 2 years now. Worked with a lot of people. Yeah, not that long ago. I want to say it was like sometime over the summer, maybe back in the spring. I had an engineer come up to me, and I'm just a C-Web over there, but this guy's an actual employee over there. He walks up to me and he's like, I start using this tool because I'm helping him out with something, and yeah, he didn't even know this tool existed within Pro-E. He was a packaging guy, so he works in Pro-E, but not as much as I work under mechanicals, so as mechanicals do. But I just thought that was funny. actual employee uses Proby a lot, doesn't even know about all the tools. So anyways, okay, so that's done. Just what I want to do now is delete those other parts. There we go. Oh, there's other, not parts, extra lines that I have laying around that I don't need. Okay. And I'm just hitting the delete button. Why is that? That's why. Okay. Delete segment tool again. Going in. I think this, yeah, this one. Oh, so they all should be good. Yay, they're all good. Although, that one doesn't have... It doesn't want to. Yeah, okay. Nitpicky stuff. Since this is not your official, what you call it, model, that shouldn't really matter all too much, but just being nitpicky. So go ahead and hit OK. External references. Delete, 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 delete. Boop, boop, boop. Close. Okay. Yeah, that was the problem. Awesome. So, kind of freaking out like Creo Pro-E always does when it has parts that you know you shouldn't really have. Like I shouldn't have had those references, and it caught me before I was able to go through with it. Selected. What I'm doing now is I'm just gonna select this back edge, just select it out to. Actually, I may do the same thing, so I'm just gonna do 36 inches. Negative 36. There. So it starts at that edge. That edge. Oh, is it starting at the inner edge? Let's see this. Easy. 0.1 minus 0.125. No, wait. What? No. Okay. So I'll have to, since I messed up like that, go in and what exactly to do? Oh well. You know what? Just keep it like that. Hit OK. I am going to actually activate this instead. Go and modify where I have placed it. This is where assemblies get fun. Delete that. I am going to make that to, where are you? Connection definition. What the heck is this thing doing? This thing is freaking out at me in all kinds of ways that I am not used to. Okay. Let's see if doing this edge and this edge. Well, that did something, but apparently not good enough. Let's try this edge. By the way, what I am doing is that, see this status down here? It's saying partially constrained. Creo does not like it when parts are like that, so I'm trying to find all the constraints that would pretty much make Creo happy. Nope. So, what? partial. What the heck? Come on. Not fully constrained. Yeah, but it moved him. Okay. Conchosy. Actually, new heights to front. No. Feel free to fast forward to when I'm not fumbling around with this. What is it doing? There we go. Okay. There we go. What did I put? There you go. Oh, they're not aligned. So what exactly led to this in the first place? Things freaking out, so now I'm trying to align it. I'm just gonna back out of my stuff. Too far. Too far. There we go. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead to the next step, go back and fix what happened before with that whole freaking issue that I just tried to fix that did not work out. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to go into these parts, activate this. I'm going to create the cutouts that will represent the little cutouts that you make for the spars to help align the spars to get them to line up to this back edge. Of course I could just go into Extrude and fix it there, but I think it would be fun to go ahead and fix it this way. See, definition, troubleshooting, ain't it fun? Sketch? No, am I in the sketch? No, I'm wrong one. Since I'm activated the part, I can create a new extrude, which I'm going to do. Define. Front. Sketch. Same thing as before. Sketch. Reference. Nope. Nope, not that. No. Sketch. Where are you? What's it doing? What? What was... Oh. Heh. Sorry. Sketch. Okay, sorry. There. Sketch references. Same thing. Like the edges. Yeah. And make it easier. Do it this. I'm just hitting the middle button, rotating it around. I'm gonna hit the 3 edges that are important on each spar. Oh, let's just do them. Ah, crap. 2 at a time. Yeah, crap. I can't even tell where those end. Guess I'll just be doing them one at a time. If that's front. Yeah. Close that. Line tool. Make sure you clear, this is what I was meant to mention before. Make sure you clear it above this line that's right here. Sometimes if you cut it too close to an edge, like exactly on the edge, it may freak out a little bit and not cut over it. It's better to cut just a little bit past that edge, unless there's like a really important feature there, then you want to try to cut it as close to the edge as possible. This is good for now. So, see, so that's one. Go back into references. This is going to be another tedious one. So, you're welcome to go ahead and watch or fast forward to the main process because, or to after this. So I'm pretty much just going to sit here and do the same thing. Well, I'm going to go ahead and speed up and do a few at a time, different locations. Front, close. okay, so I think that's all of them. I'm going to go ahead and delete those references one last time. There we go. Those should be okay. Hit the OK button. What I want to do is flip the direction. What is it doing? Yep, whatever. Okay, so it was in the right direction, don't need to flip it. Just make sure it's in the right direction. Go to the surface. Make sure it hit the other edge of it so that it only goes up to that one surface. Okay. And there you go, you create a cut. And since I'll go ahead and activate the entire assembly. As you can see with me selecting this part, since I changed it to that one part and they're technically all the same part, it created the same cuts for all of them. So notice that, see, remember this thing that I was going to try to fix before? I'm pretty sure it just made fixing it easier. User defines this, surface, this. Sparse like constraint. I think one more edge. Why is it can do mates? And it can't do mates. Align. Mates. Align. Yeah, there you go. And it's all aligned, all good, like I want it to be. I am going to go ahead and create one more surface, show you guys how to select the material for these things, for these surfaces. I'm only going to do it for one part, and then that'll be all that I'll want to show you guys for today. You guys, I won't show you guys how to model monocoat, which would be the outer surface. That has next to no, it'll really increase the strength of your material, but it would hardly add any weight, so you guys don't need to worry about that. What I'm going to do is create that one little piece, wooden piece that goes over the front here. Do you go to front? Yep. So create a new part again. Here, to front. Square sheet. Name it whatever you want. Okay. So just like last time, I'm going to general. Select the coordinate systems. Cool. That's all worked out. User finds. Does it flip out again? That is, activate it. Extrude. This should be one simple extrude. Only biggest problem should be actually creating it, because it's kind of a funky part, at least when it comes to modeling it. It's even harder to make in real life. I'm saying that from experience. So, surface, do front. So what to do front for this thing? Sketch. So sketch references, selecting these edges. Let me see. Let's do it straight up. There. Straight down about there. let's actually make that about 0.3 for now. Both of them. I'll trim them down, but I'll show you a neat little tool. Just like this project, you have a offset tool, so you can select this edge, do it. I don't know, but let's go ahead and hit the button. No, let's get it. There you go. Okay, cool. Offset of 0.125, because it'll be the thickness of the wood. Really? It didn't want to do it. Okay, there you go. So now it's doing it. Okay, cool. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Probably can be really picky. There you go. So, that would do it about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I also want to do, where's that tool? Go back to this project. Boom, boom. Go to the segment tool again. Delete certain edges. So the length that you want this edge to be, it's up to you guys to decide. I'm just showing you guys how to model it real quick. Delete the top edge, like that. Click. The thing over there to the left is freaking out. I'll get to that in a second. Why are you freaking out? You have a little tiny bit. Hey. Why are you freaking out? That's why. It's weird. Why is it weird? Oh, I don't know how to deal with. So it's closed. Cool. Go ahead and hit OK. Once it's all closed off, it should be good. This one's gonna probably freak out the same way. 36. What I'm gonna do is make that side of it options. This is a neat little tool because you can extrude out two different directions if you do it this way. I'm gonna make this one 36 minus 0.125. It's 1.125. Don't know if I pointed it out before in my other videos, but probably will do math for you. Freaking awesome if you're too lazy to actually do it yourself. And I don't mean that to be an insult, because, yeah, that's me plenty of times. Just too lazy to open calculator. Because I suck at doing math in my head. Ha. Yeah. So that should be it for your actual modeling. The last thing that you need to do is set your material for it, and I think you'll want to go through each of your parts and do that one by one. I'm gonna hit this. Make sure I'm gonna do Control-G, which generates the models, all the parts. Make sure it's up to date. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do that for one of the ribs. So, oh wait. Okay, never mind. What I'm going to do real quick is show you guys how to change the color of stuff. And this, I'm just doing this for the heck of it, to show you, to make sure that it'll update later on. The assembly, middle click, so there we go. To change the material, there you go. Go to File, Properties. You got Material, not assigned. Look through this list. They actually have more. You know, they don't. Oh, they do have balsa wood. Awesome. I remember looking for through Creo, and I don't think Creo has balsa wood. So, this one's really easy. Just go ahead and select balsa wood, do OK. There you go, balsa wood. Select the material, go to mass properties, change it. There's your density. If you want to do it for whatever, that's good. So you have the material, it should automatically assign mass properties to it. If you want to find your mass properties, you go to analysis, snip model, mass properties. Hit this little glasses icon down here, and I'll pop up with your density, your mass, other things. I'm just gonna Google real quick, because when I was looking for modeling balsa wood within Creo 2.0, I couldn't actually find, it didn't have the material on there. It only had like certain kinds of steels and aluminums and stuff like that, so I actually had to manually enter in and change the density. And I don't know, inches, there we go. See, balsa is 7 to 9 pounds per feet. You know what? I'm too tired. I'm not gonna put the effort in. Let's just assume that the density that they put in there is right. X out of it if you need to manually enter in and change your density because they don't have the material that you're looking for. If you're ever modeling a part, same thing. Just go to properties. Instead of going to the material, go to mass properties and change it. And just manually enter in and change your density right here. Hit OK. It should generate whatever the density is to change it to. Hit Control F, not Control F. Control G. Control S. Save it. Exit out. Control G. Control S. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead, exit out. I'm just gonna clear out everything. Make sure it's all good. I believe that's everything for the video. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry for any slowness and how long it took. Thanks for watching.